Harlem, and now we're going to the famous restaurant in Harlem. It's called Sylvia. Now I told the ladies I would not eat collard greens. I don't do collard greens, but I'm going to take a picture of it. So there is Sylvia's, and there's Miss Maddie. She was the coordinator, all this. Miss Maddie and Miss Maggie! There we go.
Show Joey.
I will.
60 years ago.
60 years ago?
Yeah, what?
No, but I was in and out of Harlem.
Really? See, she never, she didn't know what a brownstone was.
So what is brownstone?
These are historical. Yeah.
Historical housing, the brownstone? Okay, I was just informed that the Dutch started Harlem, and there's a lot of brownstone. Alright, the Harlem Mark souvenir shop. Maddie, where'd you go? That is so pretty. That is you.
Thank you. No, it's winter. I can't buy it. No.
Nice, nice. Oh, we'll never get this done in 20 minutes. Do you see how big his place is?
Is the Dutch word for lake.
So this is the Harlem Meer. This is a man-made
New York used to be called New Amsterdam until 1664. Of that history. 843 acres of playground. Central Park was created to give New Yorkers a sense of being in the country. We have a Shakespearean theater. I mean, just about everything you could imagine is in Central Park. About 20 million people visit the park every day. This is the top end of the park, 110th Street.
So we're on
And that lake freezes over in the winter time and we go ice skating there.
Getting a glare.
Okay, this is Lenox Avenue. This is 6th Avenue. Malcolm X Boulevard here in New York City, Harlem. Harlem was a suburb of downtown Manhattan. Alexander Hamilton had his house up here, and so did George Washington. You guys want to go to George Washington's house? Any chance? It's up to you. Late 1800s. This is called Jamel Terrace. This is the only place in New York City you'll find this kind of housing. And people actually live in them. Don't go on the steps, they'll get mad. So this is called Jamel Terrace. This is where the sort of middle class people back in the old days lived in this. But this is the only place in New York City you'll find these kind of apartments. Only street. It's not a private street, it's a public street. But people actually live in these.
So what does the rent go for? Do you know?
Market value, reasonable. Yeah, not as much as that.
Gotcha. So this is George Washington's house, and we're going to take a tour in the house, the areas that they'll let us go into. And this house is actually in Manhattan. I'm going to give you a front view, and for my friends that are New Yorkers, like that New Yorkers, we're actually going to go to Yankee Stadium in a little while. Now we're going to go in and look at the house.
Unless each of you puts a dollar in this. If not, I'm going to have to chug it the right admission.
And this is the octafold dining room. This, okay, it's got the piano. Look at the old piano. But I don't think they had boom boxes back then. They have a boom box in here. This to be George Washington.
Washington's bed chambers. Oh, guys, we're in his bed chambers. Ooh. Oh, nice bed.
Do you want to use your phone, Landis, if you wish?
So if the doors are closed, does that mean do not enter? Yep, that's what it means.
Do your phone.
I was hoping to be able to read this, but I'm not sure.
So, oh, you can't get a good view of this one, or can you? Oh, yeah, you can, around the other side.
Supposedly they said this was.
Oh, so this is the dressing room. Nice. And then this was another bedroom. George would love this. It's all in blue. This whole house is in blue. This is the red chamber room. Maybe I should have done that from the beginning. Nice. Dressing room. But if you can see over here, it's a potty chair for grown-ups.
For fancy grown-ups.
For fancy grown-ups.
Because usually it was just a bucket.
Rancho Richie, the guy who brought Jackie Robinson. There's a movie coming out.
This is
I think they call it
Harlem
The
River.
Or something. Make a left, keep going to the left here.
And we're
Yeah, it's coming out maybe next week or a
heading
couple of weeks.
to the Bronx.
Stay on the left. So this is the Harlem River. We're crossing the Harlem River. And once we cross the Harlem River, so there was the Polo Grounds.
Oh.
And you had the Yankees right across the river here. I tell you, I didn't live here in the 1950s,
nice.
but I wish I was. I mean, baseball, the boys of summer. Oh, you had the Dodgers in Brooklyn, in Manhattan. You had the Giants in the Bronx. You had the Yankees. Oh yeah. It was baseball, the boys of summer, they call them. So in 1923, they opened Yankees Stadium. But right here was where the old stadium was.
Oh, we're not going to be able
Lou
to.
Gehrig, Yogi Berra, Lou Gehrig and all those guys. Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, that was the old stadium. It's now a little ballpark. So they tore it down 4 years ago. Yes, about 4 years ago. And they just went across the street and they built the new Yankee Stadium. So while they call the Bates, one of the coaches, so he always leaves a couple of tickets and she goes, Mike, you want to go? I go, oh yeah! Are you kidding me? So John got out of his car, the guy was sitting right here. Morning, it happened.
This is where John Lennon
Came up with the guy gave John a copy of the action, came back about 10:15 at night. Now Yoko said they usually would try.
And right here is where the man was standing that shot John Lennon. Right where those two balconies are is where John Lennon and Yoko live. Well, no longer John Lennon now.
New York City Central Park Police Department did that to me 19 years ago. The New York City Central Park Conservancy, the members call me the gatekeeper. And for all you lovely ladies, Vogue magazine calls me the custodian. Now, I will explain to you John and Strawberry Fields. Strawberry Fields consists of 2.5 acres. It took 2 Italian craftsmen from Naples, Italy, 10 days to do this mosaic piece by piece. There's about 10,000 pieces in here. The design is also the design from the ruins of Pompeii. Now the road outside and the road inside in here is in shape of a teardrop. But when you follow that path to the end of the fence, there's a plaque in the rock of October 9th, John Lennon's birthday. For 1980-81, when Yoko Ono took a full-page ad out in the New York Times. For all the countries that were listed then in the UN, which was 121 different countries, now listed in alphabetical order, some of the countries today in the plaque do not really want to exist with peace anymore. Afghanistan's the first one on there. Remember back in 1980, there was also 2 Germanys back then. There are no strawberries here, nor are there any strawberries in Strawberry Field in Liverpool. Now, John Lennon lived across the street right there in the corner. But in the middle of the building where the archway is, the 2 gas lamps, the plant life, and the golden booth, inside the corridor there, unfortunately, where he was assassinated. The 7th floor, which is the black metal fence that goes around the whole entire building, John owns. Yoko still lives there. Sean lives downtown in Soho. Julian lives in Liverpool and also Los Angeles. But Julian has never lived there. Congratulations when you 2 come back to take the picture here, all right? Peace and love. Woo! Now, there are 19 years off and on, steady every day for the past 11 years. I give you peace signs, whether I give you 1, 2, or 3. Today happens to be 2 peace signs with the yellow daffodils, whatever they want to call them, lilies. Symbolizes here comes the sun for George Harris. Now, there are 4 statues in the world of John. One was supposed to be right there behind my bench, but Yoko did not want to see her husband every time she came down here. So she chose to imagine instead. The reason the bottom line is she does not want any birds going to the bathroom on his head. So that statue's in John Lennon International Airport, Liverpool, England. The other statue's in front of the Cavern in Liverpool. The next statue's in Peru with this mosaic, with John Lennon on a 4-foot concrete block with a guitar in his hand. Now, the next one. Everybody from the United States got a little problem. Via Mexico, say hello to Canada. Then you can say hello right here to 17th and 16th Street in John Lennon Park, Havana, Cuba. So I advise you to get there real quick. You asked that question to Castro, Raul and Castro yourself, because those brothers, they're on their way out. If anybody would like to make a wish for peace, please do so in that bandana right there, like other people do throughout the world. Peace and love, peace and happiness. Thank you very, very much for your time. Welcome to New York, folks, and welcome to...
Now we are walking down Strawberry Fields in Central Park.
Not too far away.
There.
All right.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Okay. So many, oh my gosh. Can you take a picture of me too?
Okay.
All right, I gotta go. But everything is okay.
Oh, I like the spaces.
So these umbrellas up here says, "Will you marry me?" And it's this couple out in the water.
Okay. Tower number 3
Ground
and tower
zero.
number 4. By 2016, we'll have a
That's the
completely
grounds for
new
ground
World Trade
zero.
Center. Now, this was completely destroyed on 9/11. All of the trees. Now, this is where Occupy Wall Street started last year. This is called Zuccotti Park. And the police let them...
So the building of the Ground Zero towers. I know you can't see them. There's one, and all.